No other game, in my opinion, has ever nailed the concept of collectibles quite as well as the 2013 reboot of the Tombraider. I love collecting stuff in this game. It just feels right, and I have replayed this game so many times, hundreds of times, and each time I always go for a 100% completion. I've never done this with any other game. Yeah, I may finish a game 100%, but if I ever replay it, I don't think I would ever go for 100% completion. But with Tomb Raider, I always go for it. And for several reasons. Like, what did they get right? I asked myself this question. What did they do with collectibles that made them so good in this game? And I think I have an answer. First of all, we need to understand the type of collectibles this game offers. We have three main types. Well, you could say four, but for collectibles there are three main types. We have first of all the documents, and these are my favorites. I love collecting them.
I can't believe we're actually on an expedition to find the homeland of my ancestors. Ever since I told...
Why do I like them so much? Because they are an important part of the story. There are lots of things in the Tomb Raider stories that feel incomplete, but once you read the documents, you actually start to understand the story even more. One of these things is the villain, which is Himiko, Queen Himiko. If we just play through the story, we understand that Himiko is basically stuck. She's just a soul. She doesn't have a body, so she is half dead, and she's the one who causes the storms and the weather changes that traps people in there. And we know that she is looking for a vessel or a body. However, we don't know what exactly happened to her unless you actually find the documents. Going through the documents, you find Hoshi, a document that belongs to Hoshi. And basically it explains how Queen Himiko got stuck in this state. Hoshi was originally supposed to be Himiko's vessel, but once Hoshi realized her fate, she decided to off herself, and thus Himiko ended up being stuck, in this state, and being angry that she has no body to, move into. Another thing that I like about documents is that they add so much to the characters, to their thoughts.
Whitman is such a drama queen. I can't believe the hissy fit he threw during the filler shoot. I mean, this is his job, right? It's not like he's offering anything to the actual research part of this expedition. Once we find Yamatai and the cameras are rolling, he'll calm down. He might be a total pain in the ass, but he knows how to work a scene.
And they add also pieces of lore. For example, I had no idea that Roth has a child with Reyes. Yeah, it is not mentioned at all in the story unless you find the document where Reyes says that her daughter is also Roth's daughter. And I think that's amazing. I had no idea. And of course, we have Whitman. He's getting a divorce. His wife is divorcing him. He's like begging her to stay. And you only find that in the documents.
Darling, think before filing those papers. I've sunk the last of my fortune into this expedition, but it's all going to come back tenfold. If you divorce me now, you won't see a penny of it.
You also find some entries that talk about Sam, and it shows more her lively character and how excited she is for this. It also shows another side, how she's also nervous about this whole trip. And all of this is discoverable via documents. And this is why collecting them seems so much fun, and this is why going through it again and again and again feels fulfilling, because they are not just something that you collect that adds nothing. They add so much to the story, to the lore, to the characters, so it makes sense for me as a player to go and look for all of them. I almost forgot, they also talk about how that code that you find on the island, how it got formed, how Matthias formed it, and how slowly he came into the realization that something is keeping him on the island. It also talks about how they recruit, etc. And yeah, that's honestly amazing. Now let's move on to the second type of collectibles in Tomb Raider, which is the, I don't know what to call them, artifacts. So you find a lot of artifacts through the island, and they add so much to the world building and to the lore. You find artifacts that belong to the World War era. You find artifacts of some of them are fake. You know, when you try to inspect them, you find out that some of them are made in China, some of them have a price tag, so not all of them are genuine, and it's really awesome to find all of these. You find some mushrooms, some healing herbs, which shows that the people here, they used to, you know, use these things. You also find a picture that has been folded and unfolded, and Lara says this the soldier who had this picture never made it back home, and that the island has taken so many lives. You also find toys. You find the first toys, I think it belongs to a girl named Minnie or Millie, I forgot. Then you find another toy that belongs to someone called Coco. And Lara says, what happened to the children on the island? Like I said, these collectibles do add so much to the world building. And yeah, you wonder what happened to them. And eventually you find a wallet that belongs to the father, I think, or the mother. And it completes a piece of lore. You feel a sense of accomplishments for finding all three of them.
There's a name on the tag. Millie. Where have all the children gone? Another name, carved faintly into the wood. Coco.
You know, and in other games I don't feel that way. I rarely feel like any other game has done collectibles so well like the Tomb Raider has done. Now the third type of collectibles is the GPS, cache, I don't know what you call it. Now these ones are the underwhelming ones. They fit more, not they fit more, they feel more like any other game. However, collecting all of them does come with a reward. You find a piece of info about a future organization that you will meet in the sequel, and you also get this small Easter egg or a nostalgia callback to the original Tomb Raider.
Aha! There's a note inside.
Now, there's one more. Challenges. Challenges also feel fun. They are not very challenging. And for collectibles, you can find them on the map. When you find a tomb, a secret tomb, then it reveals these collectibles on the map. However, there's only one that is not revealed on the map, which is the challenges. So the challenges were also a fun form of collectibles that I enjoyed. They were challenging because they don't appear on the map at all. You just have to figure it out on yourself, on your own, or maybe look up a guide. But overall, I enjoyed collecting stuff in this game. Every time I replay it, I always go through it. And you know, I was just playing it the other day, replaying it for the millionth time, and I wanted to go through for a 100% completion. I was wondering why do I always go for 100% completion for this game, and I enjoy it so much, but not with other games, like for example Assassin's Creed. As much as I love Assassin's Creed, collecting stuff feels like collecting stuff in Assassin's Creed feels more like a chore than actually having fun, you know?
I have no choice now but to meet my fate. Tonight, I climb the stairs to the Chamber of the Sun, but I will never submit to the ritual. I will not emerge queen. None will ever believe what I now know to be the truth. A twisted evil beyond imagining lives within the Sun Queen. An evil that hungers for more than just the land and seas of Yamatai. This madness cannot continue. So I go to the chamber, armed with the stolen dagger of her Stormguard general. By the time he realizes what I have done, it will be too late. For the sake of Yamatai and all the priestesses that would follow me, I must die.